Hopefully we are live. Hey everybody. Hopefully my audio is okay this time.
Hopefully that's working now. So I'm going to get this corner laid down. Just going to figure out what my distance for these expansion tracks should be. Usually I try to go about 1.5 inches. Just to leave enough room to expand it. These two modules that I'm working on are actually, they go together, form a straight line. And the corner can go in the center in between. So they're kind of, these ones are set back a little bit further than normal. But that's okay. Let's go about, I want them to be the same on both ends of the module. Thinking probably 1.25 inches should do. Just to be safe. Actually, just went and checked the other corners. I'm at about 1.75 inches from the end, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll mark that. Derek Alexander, how's it going? Just laying track again. Seems to be using up holidays for work, so it's I'm gonna see if I can do some live streams on Friday afternoons. Sean's Pennywise, good afternoon. How are you? So I'm just going to make sure, clip these guys together. I always end up removing the one end of the Kato joiner because I use Flex Track for the rest of this. Taking a bit of break from working on N-scale building. What building are you building? I was doing some weathering this morning and figured I'd jump around the track laying, just to switch it up. That one looks good. I'm just using CA here. Holds it pretty tight. And I have had to pop these off the wood several times. Not too bad. They do come up pretty easy. It does leave a little bit of wood on the back, but you can just sand that off. There. Not bad. This is going to be a double level corner. So I've got a raised section I have to install over on this side. Maybe I should move the camera a bit here. So this is my raised portion. I drew it out on the plywood here and layered it on with masking tape and cut some cardboard and put that in the center, and then I peel it off. That's kind of what I use as my template, and then just cut it out on the bandsaw. And I end up with that. I did cut it larger, but that should go in there like that. Got a bit of stuff on the back of this thing. There, that's a bit better. So that can go right like that. Well, might as well get the other side done. Yeah, the motor cars. Yeah, it's a great hobby. That's for sure. We do about, I don't know, about 40 or 50 kilometers an hour, depending on the track and where we are. Some of the longer runs you get clipping pretty good, but feels like you're going faster than you actually are. We've done a few trips in the US quite a while ago now, up in Maine and New Hampshire and Pennsylvania. There were some pretty nice runs. The old Knox and Kane, I think they pulled all that track up. We did Conway Scenic. That was awesome. Fantastic trip. If you're interested, it's narcoa.org, North American Railcar Operators Association. There's quite a few trips down in the US. Not too many up here in Ontario, Canada, but not as many as there used to be anyway. But gotta travel. And you're mentioning about turning my comments on. Originally, when I started the channel, it was just a place to put some videos and share some links. So I went through and I did open the commenting. So So this was the section I did on the last live. So I just finished the upper line this morning. I still got to go drop all the feeders, and but that'll be after, once I get this going. Fellow Ontarian, Sean. Yeah, up here in just south of North Bay. Not sure whereabouts you are in Ontario, but well, thank you very much, Derek. Yeah, I'm still new to the YouTube thing, so I just figured I'd start sharing what I'm working on. hoping to get into doing some live streams from train shows and stuff like that this summer, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. Lots of Southern Ontario mall railroaders. I always have to go south to train shows and stuff like that. And it sounds like you're in N scale, Sean. So that's cool. We are finally getting some nice weather up here. Yes, I've been to Amherst. It was fantastic. We didn't go this year, but hopefully next year, depending on what's going on. But that was something else for sure. I didn't find there was a whole pile of deals down there for us with the exchange and all that, but definitely if you couldn't find it there, you're probably not going to find it. Oh, cool. Okay, so you're down with everybody else. I think I've seen you in a few other chats too, possibly, Sean. Now, I think that's pretty good. I try to get one. Oh, I guess I better turn my camera around here. Dude. Okay. So I always try to get one line as straight as possible and where I want it. And then that'll give me something to work off of. So I have a buddy who helps with this a lot. This is my home layout, but made the room so we can set it up in the house when it's not show season. So anyway, I got a buddy that helps quite a bit, and we're signed up for exhibiting at Midland, Arnprior, and Beaverton this year. So I'm kind of got a deadline. It'd be the end of May is the first show. Not doing too bad here. I think I got 2 modules left to revamp. I probably won't have scenery and all that done, but at least it'll be running, and definitely won't be ballasted, but at least then I'll be able to tell if it needs any work. So there's my 2 corners, or my 2 ends. So let's see. So I have these strips of wood here. They're not the greatest. I try to make a bit of an easement curve on all my corners. and I kind of use this as a template. Okay, but I think I'll be better off using the long one. The problem with these wood strips is they're plywood, so the density of them is not always the same. I had some nice strips of plastic, but threw them out because I didn't think I would need them, of course. So just trying to get this aligned. This will draw my outside corner. Just using some thumbtacks here. GRE 2057. My curves are bigger than, everything is bigger than 19-inch radius. The bigger the better here. I run a lot of auto racks and auto boxes and stuff like that, so just try to keep them nice and broad. Looks a bit better, but yeah, everything is as bigger than 19-inch. And I try to it's not a very good camera angle here. Maybe if I go like this. Sorry, everybody. There. Okay. So yeah, once I come out of these joiners, I don't want to start my curve right away. So I try to just keep this back a little bit. Keep it straight, maybe a couple inches or so. That was the same when I did these, my grades here. We had a big problem at the ends of the modules. Each module is 6 feet long, but some of the grades ended like right at the end of the module. So when the Unitrack joiners went together, it created like almost like a point in the center. And we had a lot of problems at the shows with the points of those expansion tracks rubbing fuel tanks on locomotives and coupler height issues. So I've started putting blocks, 4-inch blocks at the end of every transition for like a grade. And I think we figured out our grades are about 3%. I'm going up about 2 inches. About 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches to the bottom. And that leaves about 1/8 of an inch on the top of a high cube container double stack. So that's the highest thing we run. So I'm just gonna see if I can get a Measurement here. Close. I'm just going to pull this out a bit more. So this is, I used to try and do the center line, but this works just about as good. Yeah, vertical kinks are a pain for sure. This one is running about 3% ish. It's going up 2 inches in about, each module is 71 inches long, and then there's about 4 inches on either end, going from flat at height and flat at grade. So I think it was 3% anyway. Okay, 6.5. 5 3/4. So I'll probably end up masking some of these corners with hills and overpasses and stuff like that. Just try and break up the scenes a bit. That is pretty decent. Once I get this first one, it's not too bad. It's just getting that first one set up. Because this is where I want to be. Whoop. There. Yeah, this plywood's not the greatest choice for doing this. So I do want to check that. This is 19-inch. So it is, oh yeah. Nice. Perfect. So now I'm going to transfer my mark about 2 1/4 all the way along. This is just so I can have something to lay my road bed against. And it never, even when I do my road bed, when I go to lay the track, it still sometimes doesn't match totally up with my lines. It either, you gotta mess with it on the fly, just like right here. I ended up having to cut down some Kato Unitrack curves because it comes right out of the expansion track right into a curve. So rather than try and straighten out after a straight piece of Unitrack and then end up with a kink, I just cut down some of the Kato curve sections, and then I soldered my flex track right to that, and then so I don't end up with a kink there. Came out all right. I think it'll be okay. And there was quite a few places on the old configuration layout that I ended up using some of these. Where is it? Some of the Unitrack, and I cut it down and soldered the flex track to it. But these were really tight corners. We had quite a bit of issue there with couldn't run long equipment on it, so ended up getting rid of that and went to these corners. So there's my first line, or my mains, track 1 and 2. So for anybody who hasn't seen this layout before, got 4 tracks. So it'd be 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and then these back ones are hidden staging, and there's a slot on every module that the backdrop can slide into, and your staging will be hidden behind the backdrop. There's access to staging at both ends of the layout. So just as an example, this is my one of my corner module backdrops. So that slides into here like that. And then, as you can see, you have your staging at the back. And then, yeah, it just works. We don't have to set up separate staging. We never used it as a staging yard. It was just a place to pull everything in at the end of the day at a train show. So right now I'm going to cut this to match my upper line. I guess I can get rid of this now. But yeah, so this is just hardboard, and I made a frame out of plywood, air nails. I still have to paint all this. This is all going to be black, and then the other side's blue. And they go through the plywood deck about an inch, and then in behind on the opposite side I have blocks of pine. So when you drop your backdrops in, just put a couple screws in there and it'll hold the backdrop from pulling straight out. Just something if we ever have to repaint the backdrops, it's just easy. Undo a couple screws at the back, slide the thing out, paint it, or put whatever on it. Put your scene, your backdrop scene or whatnot on it. This is actually old backdrop from as I revamped these modules. So rather than waste the wood, the old grade was the same plywood but on foam, the blue foam. It worked. It was pretty stable, but going to the riser method. You hang lights at the backdrop. No, I haven't. That's not a bad idea though. Or even like a lights at specific spots to highlight a scene or something. Yeah, something to think about for sure. This will actually be the first time we're setting up with this setup with the backdrop and the staging. So it's really, in theory, everything will work okay. But until we actually set it up, this layout is in its smallest form. I think I have a picture here. So in its smallest form is 18 by 24. And currently this is the corner that I'm working on right now. So I still have this module and this module to go, but everything else is done. And then to fit in the home layout, I needed 18 modules. So that is the largest form. I'll go sideways here. So all the ones with the track plan on it are existing modules, and then the blank squares I can still make into whatever I want, but they'll connect up to the existing modules. And also every module can connect to its neighbor in a big straight line. So if we end up somewhere where we want to just set up in a big straight line with a couple reversing loops at each end, we can do that too. (20x13), that's a good size, especially in N scale. You can definitely fit quite a bit in N scale. So it's kind of a mess, but I can give you a quick view of the room I am in. So there will eventually be a helix going from each level, and then it'll go around the back wall, and it will connect up each of these peninsulas, and there is space at the far back to run all the way along the back wall and over on this side. I'll end up with 2 loop tracks, so it'll be fairly large, and all these modules just end up sliding in, and you can sort of see this one here has the 2 posts that it sits on, and you can slide them all out. They all connect with the Unitrack joiners the same way that all these modules are connected. And then you can pull them out and sit them on the ground. They all have their own legs and freestand. So back to this. Yeah, this was a I'd say about a 2-car garage in my house, and I had my old layout set up there, and sort of had foundation problems with the house, so I figured that was a good time to redesign everything. And the home layout and the show layout at the time were too much to do both, so sort of revamped everything to incorporate the show layout into the house. Then there's only one layout, but I can do both. I'm just going to mute myself for 2 seconds while I cut this. Not sure if anybody has one of these, but it's a pull saw. Super handy, especially for doing like flush cuts on stuff like that. Like, so nice. So there, just like that. So I have each of these modules at the back has a hinge, like a door hinge with a pin, and at the front there is just a clamp that holds them together. This allows quick pinning at the back to set everything up and get an initial height at the back, and then at the front you can sort of fine tune it with the clamp to get your level right at the front, and then clamp it. Gotta cut that one a little bit more. This has also been one of those tools I didn't know I needed until I bought one. Just all the variety of cutting blades and everything has been super handy to have, and sanding and all that kind of stuff. So I got a bit of old glue there, so sand that off before I install that. So what's everybody else working on today? It's not too bad of weather here. I think it's like +2 or something. But I think we're supposed to get lots of rain, so still lots more model railroad season left. A little bit high there, but I can always sand that down a little bit. I was going to sand the block, but then I changed my mind. I'll end up sanding the plywood. So yeah, these are nice and level here, so I'll just end up sanding up here. Oops. So now I got a few of these blocks. I usually try to keep about 6 inches or so spacing in between. Looks like I only need 3. And that's plenty strong for end scale here. I'm not going to get crazy with trying to get exact spacing or anything. I'm just going to mark either side, dead center. Something like that. So all I'm doing now, so I marked either side of the wood block, so I can put it back. But I want to just do a little pilot hole in the center, if I can. So from underneath, I can see and send a screw up in here, just to keep everything in line. These things get banged around in the trailer and setting up at the shows, dropped on the floor or whatnot. Even if I can't get screws in these two, I can get one in here. Should secure the whole corner. And then for transport to the shows, the two corners bolt together in one module, and then everything slides into the trailer on racks. Basically, the two corners become a 6-foot module, 6x3. Just do a little bit of glue on that. Screws will do most of the work. There. So now I'm going to send a screw up from underneath in that center one. If I can see the hole. Maybe. Cool. Okay. Thanks, Derek. Let's have a look here. Not too bad. Cool. So then what I'll end up doing is probably won't use big screws for in here. I'll just send a couple nails down. That'll keep those in position. Thanks. I seem to do that often. Just get going on either my mic drops out. Anyway, this is homemade roadbed. Just bought a sheet of 3mm cork off Amazon and did the cuts. It's about an 1.1 inch wide and cut it on a 45. Specific era. Mostly my era is pretty much present day. And I don't really model any specific stuff. Basically if I like it, I'll run it. But a lot of it's Canadian. And then obviously my own railroad. So yeah, I'm not sure how long I was muted there for, but I normally put a screw here if I'm starting a grade, because it'll tend to pop up here when you start going down. But for what it is here, it's just flat, so I'm not going to worry about it. but back here I did a second screw. Okay. So I'm just using just brown acrylic caulking for my road bed. Or to glue my road bed, sorry. And a Bondo scraper. Just kind of spread it out, not being too precise with this. Oh, this will do the whole length. Excellent. Then I have an old fin roller for back when I was doing fiberglass. That's probably nice and squeaky sounding. And like that sticks pretty well as soon as you roll it. So I still will throw a couple of these pins in here. Just like that. And with this stuff, I've had to tear stuff up quite a bit. Like this whole layout used to be an old club layout originally. So rather than destroy it, it was a choice to sort of save it and get right into exhibiting at shows, and slowly turned it into what I wanted. But over the past while, I've learned that you can undo a lot of stuff, ballasting, scenery, track, all kinds of stuff, and start over. I remember I used to not want to do stuff, not want to ballast, not want to put scenery, because I was wasn't sure. But after messing around with this, I've learned quickly that you can always tear it up and start over again. This is probably also my fourth N scale layout. And then I've had 3 Now this goes pretty quick. We also do a little bit of live streaming with my buddy who helps out on this. His channel's Central Northeastern Railway on YouTube. We try to do a little bit on Wednesday nights. Right now, just working on various little projects, in case anybody's interested. Well, I'm usually working on this, but he's working on various projects, or weathering, or something. So where I have it, where some of it comes up in between, you can easily sand it down or just cut it off with a razor blade once it's dry. Usually it's dry within a few hours or so. I'll leave this overnight and probably start laying track on this tomorrow. But yeah, this if you ever have to peel up any of it, it scrapes up super easy and doesn't leave hard residue on any of the wood or anything, so you can make corrections or or whatever. And it's water washable. So if it gets all over your hands. There. Just want to check this. Cool. Cool. Whew, that's already setting up right there. Mike Drake, how are you? Okay. Well, I am going to give that a quick sand before I throw some road bed on that. Oh, right on. Mike got a bit more wiring done. Sean, nothing more enjoyable than adding lights to interior build and scale buildings. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Lighting and scale buildings. It really adds to a scene, that's for sure, when you get the lighting in there. Someday, hopefully I'll get to that point where I can do some lighting. I am in, oh, that's funny. I'm in Powassan, south of North Bay. And I'm not really modeling a specific area. I'm just modeling to have fun and enjoy the hobby. And I run a lot of Canadian equipment, but other than that, oh, Restool, that's not far at all. Always nice to meet somebody fairly close. Yeah, I think I've seen your picture there somewhere before, whether it was in one of the groups or posting photos or something. Actually, I think it was Newmarket North, the Newmarket North group. I think, could be wrong, but I think it was a Newmarket North group. Yeah, lots of good fishing around here. Oh, this is coming along quite well. I didn't think I'd actually get this far today. Looks like I'm gonna have to get another roll of cork. This is my last roll here. Yeah, I'm not worrying about too much about getting the ends nice and square because I'll chop them to install the Kato joiners. And when I cut the plywood for these top tracks, I tried to leave myself a little bit of space. So when I add my scenery and whatnot, I can sort of blend it into that rather than cut it right to the roadbed. Also gives me some wiggle room if things go not to plan. And we're still bigger than 19-inch radius, so that is great. Cool. So that's that. This shouldn't move, but put a few pins in here. Okay, well, that was progress for today. And I think I'm going to end it right there. So, yeah. Thanks for joining in, everybody. And hanging out, laying some track. Well, didn't get to much track laying, but at least I got some road bed down and some progress made. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream and catch you on the next one.